Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I am in such a blessed mood, in such an energy filled morning. And I didn't get there by just, waking up that way. I pushed myself into this joy of the Lord this morning. And so I thank God for that. I thank God for you all. Good morning. We are in our series. I cannot believe that we're already on Wednesday and things are just progressing so amazingly. All the things that we are learning, all the things that we are doing. So, the voice activation is a daily live series teaching experience designed to help purpose driven believers align with God's vision for them. Build the structure to sustain it, develop the character to carry it, gain the confidence to speak it, and to execute it with obedience and excellence. Welcome to the Voice Activation Financial Literacy Edition. This has been such a blessing. This financial literacy edition has been such a blessing, literally, because we are in a time where things are getting tight all around the world, right? Everybody is in some way being affected by the rise in bills, the rise in food costs and expenses. People are saying that, hey, I do make money, but I'm looking and I'm seeing my money, the little back end money go less and less because the front end money of what I have to pay and what I have to do for me and my family is becoming excessive, right? And so people are either looking to cut back, people are looking to steward what they have better, or they're looking to downsize. There are even people who are literally saying, well, I guess I'll have to pick up some additional ways of making money so that I can sustain living with all these different changes. So, with this financial literacy edition, what we are doing is we are communicating with everyday people who want clarity, control, and confidence with money and doing it God's way. Because I believe that it's not just about you getting clarity, you getting control, you getting confidence. It's about where you get that clarity, control, and confidence from. You must get it from the Lord because if it's led by the Lord, it will multiply, it will increase. You will see the difference when God is backing it. And sometimes, we are taking steps of discipline, but it's not backed by God. And so sometimes we see the bottom fall out of some of the discipline we're trying to create, literally because we don't have the backing of God. But if you have the backing of God plus the discipline, you can get some headway. You can get some things accomplished. So this series will give you financial clarity. It will give you structure. It will give you discipline. It will give you confidence. And we will take action steps in our finances. We will take action. So this day, I can't wait to tell you um, all about what we're talking about in a deeper sense. But when we get to that action step, that activation step at the end, I have already done the action step. And so I'm excited to share with you guys because it's not just about getting information here, it's about what you do with the information. It's not just about us getting on and us being consistent in showing up and commenting in the chat. That is all amazing. But what we want to do here is we want to make sure that when we are getting on and we're getting this information, we're applying this information to our lives. Why? Because that's what's going to be the change. That's what's going to make the difference. That's what's going to make financial literacy stick. It's going to be by the doing. It's not just by the knowledge, but it's by the doing. So, day 3 of the Voice Activation Financial Literacy Edition is integrity. So, we are in the hump. Remember, we talked about that? Voice, V.O.I.C.E. I being the middle letter, the hump, the integrity part that gets a little bit intense. That conversation of integrity gets a little bit intense, but it's such a necessary conversation when we think about what the Lord is requiring us. So we have, of course, went over our vision related to our finances. We've went over the organization part, figuring out that snapshot and that money map so that you can actually take action and have something organized. And now we're on the integrity piece. And so if you missed day one and day two, go back and watch the replay because it's very, very vital that we take each step in this process for it to be effective. So we can bring it from vision all the way to execution when we get to the E. Okay, so day three is integrity. Integrity in finances looks like doing the right thing when it's hard. Integrity in finance looks like doing the right thing when it's hard. How many of you guys struggle with doing the right thing with your money when it's hard? Because let me be honest, all of us, there are times when we want to spend the thing and it's hard. It's on our heart, it's on our mind. Things are so readily at our fingertips. Listen, you can buy food out literally at a push of a button on Grubhub. You can buy food out at the push of a button. You can get it right to your house from Uber Eats, and you can spend the money easier now than you could have ever spent it in your life. Amazon will get the stuff to you sometimes same day, depending on what it is, right? And so there are desires of our heart that have been made even easier or readily available to us that we have to maintain discipline in, regardless of how it may make us feel. And so we have this thing called fear of loss, right? Or fear of missing out. So you can have a fear of loss or fear of missing out, and that may be causing you to spend money that is excessive of things that you don't actually need because you feel like you're going to miss something if you don't get it, or you feel like you're losing something if you don't get it. And so integrity is when you say, I know how I may feel, but I know what I need to do. I'm willing to do the right thing when it's hard. And listen to this, the right thing to do is the right thing, even if it costs you what you want. The right thing is doing the right thing, regardless of what it costs you. Listen, the right thing is paying the bill before saying yes to the girls' trip. The right thing is cutting expenses when you realize that you're living above your means. The right thing is being honest with you and with God that you have made some mistakes in your finances and being willing to repair it. See, pride goes before a fall. Pride will make you keep and hold on to things that God is saying, if you release this, you would have so much peace. People will keep a car because they don't want anybody to know that they lost a car or they had to let a car go. They will keep a car to keep up with the Joneses because they don't want anybody to know that. And so even though the car note and the insurance and all the repairs is causing them a stress and a headache, because I have this car, this is a form of pride to me. This is what makes people look at me. This is what makes me feel good about myself. And if you attach your feelings, your emotions, your value, your worth to a possession, then you will hold on to things that God is telling you to release, which would give you the peace and the joy. And you could go get another vehicle, right? And have peace and not be having to worry about how you're going to pay for it. So listen, financial growth, it literally requires financial honesty. Financial growth requires financial honesty. Can we put that in the chat? Financial growth requires financial honesty. You need to have that in your notebook, whatever you're taking notes on, as it relates to this. You need to have this down and pinned in your notebook. Financial growth requires financial honesty because if you're not honest, then you're going to constantly find yourself circling back to the same place, dealing with the same thing year after year. So the facts are real in numbers. The facts are real in numbers, and numbers, they literally do not lie. Numbers do not lie. When you look at the numbers and the numbers look upside down, and you can literally see where this is how much you make, and this is how much you're spending, right? You can literally see this is how much you earn, and this is how much it really requires for you to live on. And if you are not looking at the numbers and being honest with yourself, you will continue to live like this when God is saying, come on, do this, let your income be this, and let your expenses be this. And so it's a necessity that we make changes and we have integrity to be honest with ourselves. So yes, we leave room for faith. Absolutely. We want to leave room for faith. Yes, we want to leave room for faith. A lot of people, they get so caught up in faith that they forget that God is not just a God of faith, but he's a God of a lot of other principles, right? There's a lot of other principles in his word concerning work ethic, concerning consistency and commitment. There's a lot more to his word than just faith, okay? So the facts are literally real, and the numbers don't lie. And yes, we leave room for faith, but you are being asked by God to do what you can do on your end, and to steward well what you can steward well on your end. Some things you don't need faith for, you just need to work. Some things you don't need faith for, you literally just need to make some changes. And so you're asking God, hey, give me more, give me more. God, if I just had more. God, if I could just move in faith. But it's not faith, it's discipline. Sometimes we're asking God for the wrong thing. It's God, I need discipline to manage what I have and store what I have so I can be entrusted with more. So that I can be entrusted with more. So integrity is an alignment between these things. Drop a number one in the comment. Drop a number one in the comments. Integrity as an alignment between these particular things. Number one, what you say you value, right? So integrity is an alignment between these two things. Number one, being what you say you value. Drop a number two in the comments is how you actually spend. So one is your words, is what you're saying, and one is the action that shows it or does not show it. So you have to align what you value, right? So if you say you value these things, then you must also have the action, right? You must also be able to see it with what you spend your money on. So let me give you some examples. So saying you believe in generational wealth while you fully do what? I believe in generational wealth. Now fill in the blank. But you're doing something different, right? So I believe in generational wealth, but I'm spending the inheritance right now. I'm using it up. I'm not multiplying money. I'm just spending money. Generational wealth is given to those who multiply money. Okay, so then you say something. Here's another one: saying you believe in debt freedom. Wow, continually making debt, as opposed to saying, you know what, let me eat away of the debt that I have now before I create any more. Before I sign my name on the dotted line for any more debt, let me pay off some stuff. So then that way I'm balancing out, even if I do carry debt, because not all debt is bad, because sometimes, it's important that you're able to get a certain amount of money so that you can get, for instance, like a car note, you're getting that and with the intention of paying it off, right? And maybe you're doing some things to double up or triple up on payments. If you would discipline yourself, you could probably double up or triple up on payments and be done paying it sooner and quicker and pay it off, right? So I don't believe that we aren't to utilize the tool of getting a loan, but I believe that we have to do it with a level of understanding, wisdom, and discipline that we are making up in our mind that we're going to pay what we owe. We're going to pay on time. We're going to pay more than than they told us to pay, so that we can get through the debt quicker, sooner, and faster. So another thing is saying you truly want to owe no man while doing what? You say you truly want to owe no man nothing but love, but then you are not paying on time. You're not paying consistently. And so we have to have some honesty in a lot of this. And this, I'm going through this very fast because I know this is a hard conversation and I don't want it to be long. I don't want it to be a long, drawn out conversation. Why? Because there is some internal work and some action steps, and this is going to hit hard, right? This is going to hit hard whether you're online right now or whether you are watching the replay. This hits hard because we don't like talking about money, especially in the body of Christ, and we don't like talking about the hard things. We don't like talking about the pride that makes us hold on to things that we should be giving up so that we can finally have some peace of mind, so that we can finally have some freedom in our finances. And so here are some power points to maintain integrity. Here are some power points. Listen, power, power, power. I'm so happy that I got on here this morning with my energy, and God, He knows what He's doing because it's not a lot of us on this morning, and it's not the typical comments and all that. But listen, this is so vital and this is so important to me, right? That I get this message out and that I also utilize this message because guess what? This is a God message, okay? This is a God message. It's not just about what we're going to get and what doors going to open and what's going to unlock. It's about learning the disciplines. It's about taking responsibility. It's about getting some things accomplished in our obedience unto what the Bible says. And so here are the power points to maintaining integrity. The first thing is the leaks delay overflow. Leaks delay overflow. You listen, if you're constantly poking holes in the plan by not sticking to the plan, you are delaying the overflow because every time you poke a hole in the plan, every time you don't follow through in the plan, every time you spend the money you said you was going to save, you're delaying the overflow, the multiplication, the things that we've been asking God for. And so this is the hard teaching that backs when the pastor preaches that God is sending overflow. This is the hard teaching that is missing, is that if you keep poking holes in your financial plan, by not staying consistent, then the overflow is delayed because now you got to go back and repair the hole. You keep having to repair the hole every year. Every year you're repairing the hole. So you never get to overflow because a lot is falling through the bottom. You have leaks that is delaying the overflow. The second thing with our PowerPoints, discipline protects peace. Discipline protects your peace. If you stay ready, you do not have to get ready. Peace is disturbed when you only choose discipline at the last possible moment. Most of the time, when people choose discipline or integrity in finances, it's typically when you already at crunch time, when you already need the thing. But God is saying, don't wait until you need it, do it when you don't need it. Get yourself disciplined so that emergencies don't always have to be an emergency. Yes, it's an emergency, but I still got my peace in it because I am prepared. Because I am prepared, because I thought about it in advance and I started working towards the goal in advance. I already know that my car needs a new part. I already can hear the sound that it was making, right? The car was making a sound in October of last year. You know a time is gonna come when that part is gonna need to be replaced. So go ahead and start putting some money aside. Go ahead and start put. Listen, you know that you can see a little water damage on the ceiling in your house. Go ahead and start putting some money to the side because you can see the little spot. You know that there's something going on there. Don't wait till it becomes a massive issue. God is saying discipline protects peace. You will have peace when you are in full preparation mode so that nothing can disturb your peace when you have already disciplined yourself to prepare for these type of hiccups. The third power point, God trusts those who are faithful with small. God trusts those who are faithful with small. With little, God is expecting you to still be disciplined, to still be consistent and committed, right? So, with small adjustments, He's even asking you to be disciplined with that. Listen, there are small adjustments that you need to make in your life, and you haven't been making them because you feel like, okay, well, what is that going to do? But God is saying, those small disciplines, those small adjustments, they mean a lot to him. He's looking to see if you can do that or if you're going to despise small beginnings, right? So can you show God that you are at least willing to cut back on only down to only one day of eating out? Right? Can you show God that you're willing to make a small adjustment where you won't go get a soda, where you won't go and get a snack, where you can make a small sacrifice? Could you show God that you're willing to save that $5 in a savings account? You're willing to save that $10 in a savings account. Can you show God these small adjustments? So, have God been bringing small adjustments to your heart and you've been continuing to do what you want anyhow? God's been making these beckoning you to make these small adjustments, and you're discounting the small adjustment because you're saying to yourself, well, God, I need $5,000. What is saving the $5 a month going to do? This is how we think, but God doesn't have anything to work with when you're not a willing participant. You have to willingly participate in what He's saying. Obedience is always going to be better than sacrifice. So you want to obey God with the $5 because if you obey Him with that, you don't know what He's planning to do. You don't know what He's planning to do. He could be telling you to save that $5 and just see if you're going to obey, if you're going to listen to Him. And He plans on multiplying that beyond what you could have saved on your own. He plans on sending someone else to give you some money. He plans on sending someone else to deposit something in your account. He plans on multiplying that thing in a way you couldn't even imagine, but you are discounting it because it seems small. Proverbs 11:3, it says, integrity guides and keeps us on track. So when you have integrity, it will guide you. Integrity will tell you, God said this. So why are you doing that? Integrity will tell you, listen, this don't line up with what you say you value. This don't line up with who you say you are. This doesn't line up, and it will cause you to say, let me slow down and let me adjust. Let me make a change. Okay. And then Luke 16:10, God is asking, can you be faithful over a little? Stop despising the little things, right? Stop despising the little things, waiting to hit big, right? So you despise the $5, but do you know how many $5 it take to get to 50? Listen, it only listen, you only need 10 $5 bills to make a 50. So how are you devaluing the five when 50 is a dividend, right? Right, of five. So when you are looking at things, you have to stop um belittling God's blessing and thank God for the five. Because though I need 50, I could take this $5 and put it here. And then I just got nine more fives to get. I just got nine more fives to get. That's how you have to start thinking. You have to start thinking the cup is half full rather than the cup is half empty. So here are today's activations. I told y'all this was going to be quick because I knew this would be a tough one, right? It's a tough one. It hits hard and it cuts deep, but it's a necessary conversation. And if you could just get these PowerPoints in your spirit and you could just get these thoughts in your heart and your mind, and you could just put this action behind these action steps behind it, you would be able to do some phenomenal things. Okay. So here is our action for today. Today's action step. Um, yes, I see you. I see you over here. He has been making adjustments in my life. Absolutely. God is so good. Listen, Jesus showed us how to multiply. Exactly. Um, you guys are very welcome over on Instagram. I see your comments. I see your comments. You all are very welcome. And thank you to those that I can see on YouTube and Facebook as well. Amen. And so listen, here are our action steps. God is speaking to us loud and clear. If you have not been on the last few days, you want to go back and you want to watch the replay of writing your financial vision. That was day one. Day two, we focused on a snapshot or a money map that will help you to take your vision and put a organized plan, very simple plan to get your finances in order. And today we're talking about integrity, and these are the action steps that you should take today, right? You should not allow too much time to go by. I'm really telling everybody, do this in the same day, but if not in the same date, do it in 24 hours. Take these action steps and you're going to see yourself create a discipline. So listen, y'all drop an activation step. Activation, drop activation in the comments, okay? Because this is what this is all about, financial literacy edition of the voice activation. So we're activating some things. We're not just listening. Number one, I want you to choose one integrity decision that you can make. And I'm about to give you three examples of the integrity decisions that I want you to make, right? So here are the integrity decisions. Number one, cancel one unnecessary expense. Cancel one unnecessary expense. Number two, stop impulse spending for 7 days. Stop impulse spending for 7 days. So listen, when I say cancel an unnecessary expense, go and find that one thing that you've been letting, that subscription that is hard to cancel. And because it became a frustration for you to cancel, you continually let this thing every month take money out your account. And then you get irritated every month when you see it come across the screen that it took money out your account because you didn't want to call the customer service, or you didn't want to go and Google or hit go on YouTube and locate how do I cancel this. So I'm telling you, within the next 24 hours, go and cancel the subscription. In the next 24 hours, go and cancel the gym membership. Can I help y'all here? Can I help you here? You ain't been to the gym, and you probably not gonna go to the gym. Cancel the membership. You don't need it. Cancel the membership. You don't need to go outside and go for a walk. Look at a video on your TV. That's probably most likely what you're going to do anyway, because you're not going to get up and get in the car and go. So just go ahead and cancel it because you're just wasting money, right? Number two, I said no impulse spending for 7 days, meaning I'm only going to buy what I need. I'm not going to go to the store. I'm not going to go get me a snack out. I'm going to go to the grocery store, and then if there's any other thing that I absolutely need, I'm going to buy. But outside of that, I'm not going to buy anything else. I'm going to tell myself that I'm going to be disciplined for 7 days. And the feeling that you will feel when you do this is going to make you want to challenge yourself to do this more often. Okay. The third thing, number three, you can choose from. You choose one of these, one integrity decision. You don't have to do all three, but if you want, you can do all three. You can push yourself. The third one is to commit to tithing or saving commit consistently, right? Commit to tithing or saving commit consistently. You know, as I was preparing this for myself, I had made a decision, right? I made a decision in the midst of doing this teaching myself. I was like, you know what, I need to make another account. I literally began to act on my own activations immediately. I didn't wait. I didn't overthink it. Listen, I stopped in the middle of what I was doing and I said, let me go create this savings account because I have a goal and I want this account to be for that goal. So let me open this account up and let me put over there what I can put over there now, because it doesn't matter how little or how small of what I'm putting over there is. It matters the fact that I know that this is a goal that I had. And so why not start today? Why not start this moment? Why not go ahead and get a leg up? And it feels so good when you learn how to activate yourself consistently. When you learn how to do this activation, where you are activated by vision, you're activated by organizing the vision, you're activated by moving in integrity, you're activated by speaking the thing that God said to you consistently and faithfully, you're activated by literally executing the thing that you set out to do. It will put something on the inside of you called discipline. It will put something on the inside of you, an energy that calls you to remain consistent and faithful in things that you thought that you could not. And so you're training your body, your senses, your nervous system. You're training everything within you, your innermost part. You're training yourself when you take these activation steps. So a small obedience, it literally unlocks big momentum. Small acts of obedience. Listen, when you start putting the $5 over there towards the vision that you said that you want to accomplish, you want to build a business, you want to build a ministry, you want to go on a vacation. When you start putting the $5 over there, right? I'm gonna tell you what happens. I'm gonna tell you what happens psychologically. You start seeing money grow instead of always fleeing out of your hand. You start seeing money grow over there, then you'll find $10 to put in there. Then you'll find $20 to put in there. Then you'll find $15 here and there. Then one day you'll have $100 extra and you'll put that in there. And then another time you'll say, oh, look, somebody, you know what? Somebody did bless me with $50. I'll put that over there. And before you know it, money is increasing, money is growing, money is expanding there, money is multiplying because of one act of obedience. Because of one act of obedience, you unlock momentum. You unlock momentum because of that one action step. And that one action step literally starts putting a spark in you to be consistent and to maintain discipline. So integrity is more than just how you manage other people's money, how you look at other people's things. Integrity is more than can people trust you around their money that you're not going to steal. Integrity is also if you can be trusted by God to steward what He has given you. Right? Can you be trusted with your own money? Can you be trusted with the things that you said you want to do? You asked the Father to give you, right? And so He gives you the job, He gives you the business, He gives you the money. Can He trust you to have integrity, to pay your bills on time, to pay off your debt, to remain in a place and a posture of having the right heart and having the right mind as it relates to money? And so it's not just integrity when you can handle other people's money. It's integrity when you learn to handle your money, to handle the money God has given you. Because when we really go back around to it all, right? The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. It belongs to the Lord for real. It belongs to if you're really a child of God, it belongs to the Lord for real. So He's saying, can I trust you with the money that I have given you? I'm giving it to you to steward over. It ain't really yours 100%. But if you don't learn to steward well, if you don't learn to do what God is asking you to do in obedience and in faith, you always find the overflow never comes because you poke holes in the plan. And leaks delay overflow. If you didn't learn anything, I will no longer poke holes in the plan. I will no longer delay my overflow by putting in a bunch of holes that is causing leakage. And because of that leakage, I never find myself walking in the multiplication, the increase. My cup never overflows. Listen, my cup is always, and a lot of times it's half a cup or is residue. But we don't want to live that way because God has not called us to live that way. He wants His children to be blessed, but He will only bless those who are willing to do what He says, how He says. So finances God's way means that I have to obey God concerning my finances. Amen. So I pray that this blessed you. I pray that you were blessed by this entire conversation. If you are looking for some type of mentorship, guidance, you need strategy, you need discipline, you need consistency, you need to work on this thing called faithfulness and commitment to what you said that you would do. I have opened up some 60-minute sessions, right? These 60-minute sessions will allow you to just literally sit with me and we talk about whether it be your finances, whether it be your health, whether it be your business, whether it be your ministry. We're going to talk about what that is, what that looks like, what is the vision behind it, what is the vision backing it. And then we work through some action steps, some immediate action steps that you can take right away, some things that you can implement right away. You get off the call with me and you know that without a shadow of doubt, if you implement these things, that you will get to where you're going by faith and by trust and by obedience to what it is that God says during our call. If you're interested in that 60-minute call, you can tap the link in my bio and schedule your call, right? And your call will allow you 60 minutes where we just go ahead and flush the vision out, where we just go ahead and get the money map, the snapshot, the whatever, the roadmap, depending on what we're working on. And so if you want that, click the link in my bio on Instagram and you can get your 101 60-minute. If you are on YouTube, you can check out the community tab and they will be there. On Facebook, I really have to go put my link in the bio over there. But if you're on Facebook, you can DM me and I'll send you over the link. All you have to do is DM me 60 minutes and I will send that over to you at the speed of lightning. Okay. And so if you are interested in that, take advantage of that. It is a much needed tool because sometimes you can't figure these things out on your own. You need somebody that will help to support you in getting the understanding, right? But we will be back here on tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. We will be talking about communication. And you may say to yourself, how does communication relate to money? Come back tomorrow and see, because there's some things that you don't speak and there's some things that you don't say. And a lot of us hide from talking about money. And so we're going to learn some things about communication and money that is so important tomorrow. So 7 a.m. join me here at at whatever site that you're on, right? Whatever social site you're on, join me here and we will continue this voice activation financial literacy edition. Please do me a favor and share this live with a family member, a friend. Share it to your social sites, share it to your channel, share it all over the place and tell people, hey, this is a powerful teaching that will bless you. Thank y'all. Everybody have a blessed rest of your day. I will